Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show that is hosted by Unique Voices and Film and The Path of Consciousness. I have not done a podcast for a little while. I've been quite busy, but now I open it up with a very special guest, Irini. Welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me in this live show. Thank you.
So,
Big
Irini,
honor.
thank you. Irini Eleftheria was born in Athens, Greece at the end of 1937 into a family of Greek immigrants from Istanbul and Asia Minor. She began her working life as a ballet dancer and later as a draughtsman for architects in Athens, Paris, and London, before a difficult marriage and years of addiction sent her searching for another way of living. The search led to Tai Chi in Thailand, to the writing of shamanic teacher Lynn V. Andrews, and eventually to a decade spent in the United States studying and volunteering within Andrews Sisterhood community. I mean, the list of adventures that you have had go on, and I will be asking you about them. But let me just share one thing, which is what we have in common, is that we were both connected to Lynn, our sweet Lynn, who passed away a few years ago. Um, but I found it very interesting. First, let's start. You were born in Athens, but Irini Eleftheria, and the way and you say it much more beautifully. But can you tell us what that means? Because in your bio you address that. Tell us what your name means and how that has shaped or foreshadowed your journey in life.
Well, Irini means peace in Greek, and Eleftheria means freedom. And these two names were too heavy for me as a child, so I called Rena. And Rena was a name I hated, but I could not take my real names on me. They were too heavy, a big responsibility. It took me years to get, uh, I became about 40 years old after I had been working with Lynn Andrews that I managed to take my names on. First the name of Irini and then the name of Eleftheria.
Oh, so interesting. Another topic that you talk about, which I would assume that maybe working with Lynn helped as well, is you've described in your bio issues of unworthiness and that as being a central struggle of your life. And what I find interesting of that is part of the teachings that my poor mentors, had to help me overcome is the self-worth issues. And, that's why I believe that practicing for years rather than, you know, I know that weekend teachings and whatever teachings that you get are gifts, but depending on we are working on ancestral wounds oftentimes that come from decades, and even before we were born, some of the things that we take on into our system, including into, like in your case, in your name. Where did you think the feeling first took root in your case when you came to examine it? And how has your work today become a response to it? How has it transformed? What are you doing with it today? Probably maybe helping others?
I didn't understand exactly your question, where I am.
Yes, regarding your name, how did you touch base with the fact that you had a struggle with worthiness of not being worthy? How did you come to recognize that?
Yes. Well, starting to work with Lynn Andrews, I started to pay attention to my reactions, and small things showed me that I felt I was not worthy. Like one day, my daughter was on the phone. I had left my children and come back to Greece. And I asked my daughter if they are going to come for holidays. And she said no. And I got up from where I was sitting and I went to a bed and started screaming and crying. They don't want me. They don't like me. They don't want me. They don't, they don't want me. And I called my mother and I say, what happened? And she said, well, I've told you, I wanted to have an abortion when you were in my belly, when I was pregnant. And I knew it. I knew it, but I had never lived it. I never had the experience, the life experience. And it was a shock. I was screaming and crying for about an hour with spasm to get that over it. Because my mother said, well, for 9 months I carried you and then I took care of you. And I said, yes. But that one moment, one particular moment, she had decided to get rid of me, had formed this, they don't want me. And I had to live through that. And it took many years to realize that it wasn't only me, that it was one particular idea put in all humans, that they are not worthy. We are not worthy to take care of ourselves. We are not worthy to take care of our health. We are not worthy and able to connect with spirit. We are not able. We need always somebody else to do it. We need a doctor. We need a priest. We need somebody else. We cannot do it. We are not able. And I think this is something that is ending now. That we all humans are at the point of taking our power and saying, I'm a unique being. And the Creator made me powerful, beautiful, unique. And I can take care of myself. And I connect with spirit, and I can heal myself, and I can take care of myself. And then magic happens.
I remember that so well when working with my mentors about taking our power or giving away our powers, and how we do that, not knowing that we're even doing it. But it all takes shape after we make that recognition. It's not about getting stuck on the feeling of what your mom had thought of wanting to do. But once you recognize that, to recognize where those feelings inside of you are coming from. So obviously, again, some of these teachings, it seems like they revealed themselves during the school. But can you tell me, how did you meet Lynn? Through which book? We all kind of, not all of us, but the majority seem to have somehow her book fell into our laps. And then from then on, everything, like you said, like magic, unraveled. What was it in your case? What was your story?
Well, I stayed up one night with some friends, and then they took me up to sleep in their house. And this friend gave me a book of Lynn Andrews to read. So I sat up all night and read it. And then I read the next one and the next one and the next one. And then I sat down and I wrote a letter to her. And about a couple of months later, I get a card that says, you will be in our prayers. And I thought, with a picture of her, like a Hollywood actress. And I was very disappointed. And then one day,
Oh my God. I love your honesty.
there was a moment at this moment that I was asking, since I'm doing Tai Chi now, since I'm doing Qigong, why I cannot connect with spirit? And I'm lying on my bed reading a book, and between the two rooms there is a hanger, one of these little star bronze hangers, and suddenly there is a light. And I thought, how? This is a room looking in the north. I was in Amsterdam. It was not the time to have, there was no possibility to have a light on this bronze star. So, okay, I carry on reading, and it comes on again. And so I keep looking at it, and it goes off, and there is one more time, and suddenly there is a big opening, and all the sisterhood comes in the room. All of them go through and sit down and make a circle in the window, and Lynn and Agnes come, grab me from the shoulders, and say, "You chose non-action." And they put something like a mechanical, you know what they put if you have an injury and they have to make your body stand like a extra skeleton. And I say, "Don't push me, don't be violent." Terrified because the energy was too strong. They did not pay attention to what I was saying. They finished the job. They twist the vice, they made the vice and everything they had to do. They got into the circle, they got into the star, and they left. And I was left shaking in energy for days to come. So after that, I came to
After that,
jail.
you were too afraid not to take action. They really had you moving, didn't they?
And it
No,
is the first year that she announces the school.
really.
92, I think, or 93. Okay. And she says, $3,500. And I say, okay, one of those things for rich Americans again. I had already to pay the flight from Greece to California. It was not easy for me. So I go to say goodbye to her after the workshop, and she says, "Sign in." And I said, "But sign in." But no, sign it. And so I did. And she helped me by becoming a volunteer, by taking money out of my card whenever possible. She made it possible for me. What can I say?
It's very difficult to describe to people who have not gone through this experience what she gives, what the teachings give. In my time, I signed up. I was having a hard time with a book, and all I wanted was literary advice from her. Next thing I know, I just wanted like a one session for her to help me with my writing. And then I ended up realizing that in order for you to do anything, any of your acts of power, you really is changing your whole life. It's not about just the book or the word. In your case, first of all, you were in Athens when you met her. Was that where you were, or were you in a
I
different?
was I was in Holland, but meanwhile I came back to Greece, and I didn't know whether I would stay in Greece or I would go back to the United States, to Holland, because my children were in Holland. My husband was in Holland.
And at that time, so I know that originally in your life, you were a ballet dancer that you mentioned, and
Yes.
you have gone through different career paths. How do you feel they were all connected? And by the time, what were you doing by the time you did enter the school, by the way, at that stage? What were you doing? Or if you were doing anything, or if you were just raising your children?
I was trying to recover. I had found a job as a computer programmer
You're laughing
because,
about that. Was
because
it that bad?
I was trying to energize my mind because from the substances I had taken, my mind was a little bit scattered. So one day I saw become an ace in computer. And although I was going somewhere else, I found myself ending up in a programmer's school. And I went through the school and trying to meet a teacher of Tai Chi, I found somebody who uh, took me to work with him as a programmer. And I was in such a state that they would say, Irini in front of the computer is like, like that. But anyway, I managed to work there for 3 years before I went on and studied Shiatsu and opened a center in Athens and became a Reiki Master and did a Tai Chi instructor. So my life changed completely.
Can you tell us during the time that you did get involved in Lynn's school, what was it like during that time? Because when I started her school, my first year was in 2012, and it was everything was pretty much online with two gatherings a year in person. So, but it was over the phone or online. We did our work and connected with our mentors, obviously over the phone. Then now more recently they meet during Zoom. So what were your meeting setups like, or what was the teaching setup like?
Well, at the beginning, there was just Joshua Tree and nothing else once a year. Then, when the school started, we had the whole curriculum of the year, and we would come to Joshua Tree, and then in the fall to Storm Eagle in New Mexico.
Well, how did you do your work, like in between? Was it individually, you did it on your own, basically independently?
Well, through the internet.
Oh, okay, so you were still kind of similar
Yes,
like what I
and they
have done.
were on the telephone as well. And sometimes she would give meditations, but they would be at 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So sometimes I would follow, and then I just stopped. And they would
I
never,
always felt bad about the people in different countries who were up in the middle of the night trying to be on her calls.
even now, when I want to connect with more people, I cannot because I cannot do it all the time, 2, 3 in the morning to be up. I can do it once every now and then, but not all the time. It's very tiring.
Did you have were you, for in my case, I was very hesitant to get involved. My previous teachings were in person. I worked with a Native American man, with a man from India, and then later who taught about meditations, and then from a man from Native American tribes who had studied with the Tibetans, but he did his teachings with his female partner were in person. So this was my first experience of being in a school that was completely, as Lynn would call it, school without walls. Did you have hesitations that that would actually work, doing this kind of work in that manner? And were you like, how did you experience that? Were there hesitations, or did you believe it would work, or you had similar
No,
experiences?
no, because if they came in my room, And then another day I am somewhere else and I'm in the kitchen and I get up, I look in the I look up and I see Agnes, who says, "Ah, Irini, we thought you would never make it in this lifetime." And I thought, okay, I made it.
So you had already had, once you had that powerful experience, you knew yeah. It
That
wasn't
it
hard to
could
sell
be
you in
done.
on it.
It could be done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you tell us about Journey to the Great Central Sun. It's a teaching wheel that you, it's like a board game. So I really like you to teach us about that. Okay. This is something, can you tell us the story of when you created it and what is the teaching of it?
This is based on the Lemurian teaching wheel given uh, by Lee Carroll through Kryon. And after I had heard about it and listened to Lee Carroll, one day I just have all the idea of the game came to my mind and how to work and how to create 45 cards that take you through to look at various problems of yourself. So somehow the work of Lynn and looking backward and looking through what keeps you unable to take your power suddenly all connected together. And the fact that I was a draftsman helped me draw the cards. And it's a very interesting game because you throw a dice and it takes you to uh, to a path. You see, you are in the periphery and you throw a dice and it takes you to a path. And each path is different. One path is about life on earth. The other path is to know that we are coming from the stars. And the way we learn to cooperate between us. The third is about how to keep our inner child happy. How was our childhood? The other one is, the fourth is the connection with God, religions. Do I hear my mind or do I hear my heart? What happens if I hear my mind only? What bad choices I make? And how I feel if I listen to my heart? And then the fifth is, who am I really? Who am I? Is, do I see God inside my eyes? And in between now, in between the paths, are these black spaces. And these black spaces is the abyss, is where ordinary daily things happen and how we navigate through them to get out of them. And again, there might be a friend that helps us come out of the abyss.
Where can people get this game from? Are they able to order it online? Because I'm
Well,
just curious. Now that
how
you
we tell
mentioned
you,
it.
I don't know how to market it. So somebody, through I have connected again with the Lynn Andrews group, somebody told me to make a sell sheet, and send it to publishers and make a trademark. So that's, I made the sell sheet, I made a video demo, and I am trying to find a lawyer to make a trademark. That's where I am. Let's say for the States and for Greece, because it exists in Greek and in English, the game.
Oh, is it available for people to purchase right now or not yet? Are you
Not
still
yet,
going?
not yet.
Not yet.
I have, I have a couple I can send to somebody, but it's not, I haven't been able to market it yet.
Well, now that it's going to be harder for them to steal after this interview.
We might. We played it with Diana Light and Astrid from,
Oh,
yes, and now on
yes, they're wonderful, wonderful
The 1st
people.
of August with my group, the Dreaming Bears, because I'm a bear, we are going to play it again on the internet.
That's wonderful. That's another thing I have to say with regards to being part of the school is that the people that you meet, I have lifetime friends, some of my mentors have since then passed away, unfortunately, but I've made friends for a lifetime. And I've mentored many, many women from the school as well after I graduated. And so, but now but this is proof of it, that you're working with people who I know are incredibly wonderful people, very supportive. Um, there's another thing that you talked about, that you mentioned to me regarding a particular type of healing. Um, Something about the 8 point. Oh, let me see. I'm trying to track it down. There's a healing method that you say draws the figure 8 over an area of pain, which is very much your own invention, that it came to you. How did you discover it, and what have you learned from using it on yourself and others?
As I told you, I am liable to have minor accidents all the time. So at the moment that I had a small, you know, I could not get up. I had to lie down in bed. I thought it's not possible. I have to exercise because starting as a dancer and then carrying on with Tai Chi and Qigong, I've always exercised. And it was something that I needed to do to feel well. So as I was lying down, I started working on my chakras. And the idea was how to make one number 8 with the center at the point where the pain is, with my mind concentrating up and down. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. I can do that many times and then go horizontally. I have realized that where the breathing in goes, the energy goes, and everything settles up. And it works like magic. I've had pains, I have old traumas on my hands, on my knees, and they work. So every day I will work on my feet, my knees, and then my 7 chakras. And I might do it even anywhere if I hurt here, if I have a problem, or wherever. And it works like a laser beam. It needs concentration. That's what it needs. And it, when I show it to my students, those that can concentrate, they can do it. Those that cannot concentrate cannot do it.
Do you do healings, Irina? Can people contact you, or
Yes,
you do? Okay.
I do.
So can I include if what we can do is we can include in the box, if you want, the email address that you prefer that they can reach out to you. And for people who, you know, regardless of whether they end up working with you or something, what's one message? You obviously have lived a long, full life, and you've gone through a lot of challenges, and you've responded to your callings, which is very beautiful. And it seems like somehow you didn't even have a choice. It was so powerful. But you know, what couple of things that you would leave the audience with, a gift from your wisdom, what would you tell people who are maybe right now facing certain challenges in their life and they don't have direction maybe?
To listen to your heart, to put a hand on top of your head and a hand in your heart and stay there for a while. And then do what your heart tells you. The heart has 40,000 neurons, and it has your emotions. It knows what you need. You can say, how can I serve you better today? Dear heart, how can I serve you better? What can I do for you? Tell me. Put your attention and allow things to happen. Trust. Trust in yourself. There is your higher self there all the time, guiding you, waiting, telling you, taking care of you. Trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your heart. Trust and allow. And life can be magical.
That is so beautiful. I'm going to ask you one last question, which I'm particularly interested in because I've been to Greece and I loved it. I've been to Athens and the islands a while back, but it has left such beautiful memories for me. And I'm just interested to know, aside from it being your birthplace, but you've lived quite a few places, what has the place where you live, what's dear about it that you have chosen to spend your time there right now?
I came in this mountain in the west of the Peloponnese, found a place where I built an octagonal wooden pavilion to do workshops. And I always imagined that I had a 44 white boulders around for the sisterhood to come and sit. Now, it didn't happen. In 2007, there were big wildfires. Everything, all the woods were burned except the pavilion. Last month, the 27th of June, I was in Glasgow and we had a meditation with the dreaming bears, and Rhonda from Hawaii told us where to put big crystals in the pavilion. And Ruby, Twin Dreamers, Lynn, and Agnes came. All the sisterhood came. And with all our meditation, suddenly there was such an energy. This place was energized, and it's not the place that was energized. It went deep inside. The energy was anchored in the crystal grid of the earth to heal this place, and then right up for the energy to ripples all around the area to heal this area, a very hurt area, very difficult, with a lot of pain. And suddenly it changed. And the next day we go to a lake with my son, and I find a bunch of incredible feathers. The gift of the earth.
Yes, we are all very blessed and grateful. And I think the teachings have helped us really look and know who we are and connect to the highest part of who we are. So I really want to thank you for being a part of this podcast today, for having, it's still morning here. It's actually it's 111 right now. Very nice numbers. It's still morning by us, and I want to really thank you for being part of this. I've really enjoyed listening to your experience.
Thank you so
And
much.
you know what? Once everything is done with uh, your game, let me know, and I will put a link somewhere for people to purchase it.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you. It
you.
was great to meet you, and I really enjoyed it because that was my idea, to enjoy it.
Yes, and I enjoyed it as well. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
Thank you, everyone, for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.